Larsen for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair Graves, for calling this hearing today. Today, we're really having two hearings in one. The first, motivated by the aftermath of the January 5th Boeing 737 MAX door plug accident, which will examine Boeing's safety culture problems, the FAA's subsequent investigation, and Boeing's comprehensive action plan to address these issues. The second will evaluate the FAA's general oversight of U.S. aviation manufacturing and the implications of any necessary reforms. Towards this end, we have to ensure the FAA has resources and tools that it needs to effectively conduct its investigation and help prevent accidents like this from happening again. Just as we did nearly 5 years ago, this committee must remain vigilant in our oversight and authorization roles and hold those responsible accountable wherever the FAA and the NTSB investigations lead. On January 5th, 2024, a door plug was torn from a 737 MAX 9 aircraft shortly after it departed Portland International Airport, forcing that flight and the flight crew to make an emergency landing and return to Portland. This event was terrifying to all of those on board, but thanks to the calm and professional actions of Alaska's flight crew, everyone returned to the ground safely. Shortly thereafter, the FAA cautiously and rightfully grounded the U.S. 737 MAX 9 fleet for nearly 20 days, and the NTSB initiated an accident investigation. The FAA also initiated a concurrent but separate investigation and further announced an audit of the 737 MAX production lines and its suppliers. The FAA has also placed a further safety limitation on Boeing, prohibiting any increase in the production rate of the 737 MAX aircraft. This limit is still in place and will remain until the FAA is satisfied that certain, quote, quality control issues uncovered during this process are resolved, end quote. Unfortunately, it's not the first time we've seen quality control and production issues at Boeing's facilities. In May of 2021, then Chair DeFazio and I wrote to the Department of Transportation, the FAA, and Boeing with concerns about no less than 9 reports of quality control issues at Boeing production facilities. Since then, there have been dozens more reports leading to emergency fixes in the fleet and halts in production. Given the pervasiveness of these issues across multiple locations, experts have pointed to an overarching cultural problem within the company. And it goes without saying the safety culture of any institution flows from the top. However, a shakeup in leadership is not the final answer. It is only the beginning. The company must work to revamp its safety culture, particularly as it relates to its relationship with its greatest asset, its workers. The flying public deserves answers, and I'm committed to using all the tools at my disposal to get them. I do want to highlight what I'm hearing back home in Washington State. In the Pacific Northwest, aviation and aerospace are part of our DNA, and more than 30,000 dedicated women and men go to work each day at the Boeing plant in Everett and throughout the state. These are hardworking individuals who punch the clock day in, day out, make significant contributions to our local communities. The consequences of Boeing leadership's repeated safety and quality missteps are felt hardest by the workforce, who strive each and every day to ensure Boeing's aircraft remain the safest in the world, but are not always given the resources or direction to fulfill those duties. They deserve answers as well. I'm grateful to all the Boeing workers that have come forward with information for the various federal investigations and have made their own recommendations. However, these issues and the FAA's response extend well beyond Boeing and beyond Washington State. Boeing is the largest exporter in the country, so these issues impact the entire U.S. economy. They impact workers across the country. They impact passengers' travel and the confidence of the flying public. They impact the supply chains that circle the globe. It's not enough to build airplanes in the U.S. U.S. aviation must build safe airplanes in the U.S. And how the Congress and the FAA respond to this event will have lasting repercussions. We have to get these changes right, and not just for Boeing's sake, but for the sake of aviation manufacturing throughout the country and throughout the world. As more is uncovered, it falls on Congress to support the FAA and NTSB in their ongoing investigations and to take the necessary actions to ensure the safety of our skies. The Boeing 737 MAX 9 door plug accident is yet another reminder of the importance of this committee's work, of the FAA's efforts, and what is at stake if we don't remain vigilant in addressing systemic safety issues in the U.S. aviation ecosystem. Now, with a plan in place to begin Boeing's cultural course correction, I look forward to hearing from Administrator Whitaker about how the action plan was developed, what role the FAA played in its creation, any progress or lack thereof with its implementation, and how the FAA plans to keep Boeing accountable to its execution. The U.S. is the leader in global aviation, and this committee's efforts, along with the FAA, will have profound implications for air travel around the world. With that, I yield back.
Thank you, Mr.